Okay. Ashley, you ready?
Height.
Okay. So, as the portal spell consumes you from the clock tower, you get transported to a place that you didn't think you were going. You happen to be in a corridor of a castle. It's summertime. You feel the warmness of the air envelop you, the sweet smell of apple blossoms kind of consume you over as you are in this corridor that has an open air archway wall that looks down into a courtyard below, where you can see the tops of the castle and these red tops of the castle and tan colors of the stonework, where ivy and wisteria grow in the cracks and crevices. It's a gorgeous day, literally fairy tale esque of a beautiful afternoon. Um, and you notice that Evelyn is not there with you. It is just you five there in this corridor of this castle, and you see just down the hall there is a door um, that on the left hand side of the wall that kind of is cracked open, and you hear a feminine voice kind of speaking on the other side. What do you do?
Are we inside the elder tree now, you guys?
No, we are definitely not where. We are not in the forest. We're not anywhere near it. I have no idea where we are.
Where did Evelyn go?
This happens every time I feel like if we have to go somewhere.
There's always a detour.
I feel like the portal
It
system's
can be.
broken. Maybe. Is
Maybe her
that
magic is
possible?
a little. Well, she was weakening. We all kind of were. So maybe supplementing her power with her mirror kind of made the portal spell a little wonky and sent us somewhere else for right now.
But we have to figure out where we are and how to get to the Forest of Dusk and Dawn. There's no time to waste because if all magic goes, that means the magic that's in this mirror as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Before that, let's see if it's safe, and I'll creep up to the door and try to listen in and see what I can hear.
You can hear it's muffled, and it kind of sounds like it's underwater. Kind of that sound, mumbling and things like that. It is strange because you feel like if you were pressed against this door, you should be able to hear what's on the other side, but it's strange that it's muffled.
Hmm. It sounds weird, you guys. I can't get anything.
Should we go in? Just make ourselves
It,
known?
we could knock.
It's the only door here, and it's kind of a long hall. I'll do it if you
Seems like
don't want to.
I was waiting for a group.
knock
Makes
first.
sense. Knock first, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thal, you can do the honor.
Knock, 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 knock. Hello?
Um, you knock at the door, and the mumbling continues, as if they didn't even hear the knock.
Is this like the mumbling we heard before with Eliot?
No. Well, something similar.
Hmm.
That was going to crack the door. Room service? And look
The
around.
the door opens to a bedroom, a chamber room, where you can see someone who looks like a queen at a vanity standing behind a young girl with beautiful flowing hair, black, and she's brushing it, and she's talking to this young girl. You see that the woman that's brushing her hair has an ornate looking golden crown atop her head, and her dress is just immaculately done in silks and different designs. They don't even notice that the door has opened.
Um, I to do this situation, guys. What do
I feel
humans do?
uncomfortable.
Why don't we
What?
just try to listen? What are they saying?
That's what they're saying.
Even with the door open, you can't make out their words?
You do know that the closer you get into the room, the more you can understand what they're saying.
So
She'll
weird just creeping up on these people.
Pops her head in. I'm guessing it's like cracked. The door's cracked. She pops her head through like the doorway, and she says, "Hello, hello.
Uh,
We're so sorry. We don't mean to bother you."
The two continue to talk. That it's as if they can't even hear you or notice that you've entered the room. But the young girl who's sitting at the vanity, she's letting her mother do her hair, and she says, "Mama, why can't Evie come with us?" And you see the queen behind her kind of make a sour face and says, "Your sister is busy with her chores. She'll have no time to join us in the orchard. I I can go and help her so that she can come with us, Mummy." The queen says, "Oh, no, I couldn't possibly have you get your hands dirty. If you're to become queen one day, you must look your best, and I can't have you doing her work. Now, let me put this bow in your hair." And she pulls out this beautiful red bow um, out of the drawer from the vanity, and she ties it into the girl's hair. Um, and she like looks at her in the mirror and smiles. "You look beautiful." And the little girl, she says, "I thought Evie would become queen, mother, since she's older." "Well, of course she would. But your father and I believe that you would be the one to take over the kingdom if anything were to happen to us. Besides, your sister told me that she'd prefer you to do it." She really said that?" "Of course she did. Now, stand up. Let me get a good look at you." The girl, she gets up and she does a little curtsy and a spin to show off her beautiful dress. Um, ah, there's my girl. Come here. Lily, you look beautiful. "Thank you, Mom." And just like that, you see a teenager that looks very similar to Evelyn walking down the halls as she comes towards you all standing at the door, and she walks right through you as if you're not even there. She, you can see that she's got like mud and dirt on her hands and face. Her dress is a little dirty throughout the day from the day before she steps into the room, and she says, "I finished rounding up the horses in the stables, and the chickens have been fed, mother. Can I please go apple picking with you and Lily now?" "Oh, look at you, Evelyn. You're covered in mud. I can't have you walk in the castle like that. You must go and wash up, and we cannot wait any longer. Now go. You'll just have to join us next time." You see Evelyn just kind of like turn her head and furl her eyebrows before she uses magic to clean herself up. Her dress kind of fixes itself, and the dirt and mud comes off her face and hands. And she smiles at her mother and says, "I'm all clean now. Let me go get the basket and we can go. Evelyn, what did I tell you about using magic in the castle? The staff cannot see you use it." "But mother, it's just us. And I've learned how to control it." "Hush, not Evie. You heard what I said." "But no, that is my final word. Come along, Liliana. We don't want to keep your father waiting." Lily looks up at Evie with wide eyes, but doesn't say anything before following her mother out of the door. And she, like, they both walk right past you and down the hall. Um, and you kind of see Evelyn just stand there as they walk past her before she goes over to the bed and throws herself onto it, and you start to hear her cry.
Like a memory.
Hmm.
Gosh,
Yeah.
poor Evie.
Her mother isn't very nice.
No. She's like treated like a, I don't want to say slave because they had servants, but not so nicely.
not as well as her sister is treated.
I feel really bad for her.
No wonder she's so angry.
We
For
dealt
the
with that for years. It's understandable, but not excusable.
for the first time, you realize that Evelyn, the real Evelyn, is standing in the room behind in the corner, and she comes forward from the shadows as she sits down on the bed next to her younger counterpart. And Evelyn, she looks up at you and she says, "I remember this day."
I can imagine it's not a very fond memory.
No, my mother was a vile woman, but just like you said, Evelyn, it's not excusable.
I'm sorry you were treated like this.
I appreciate your sympathies, but I do not need it. This part of me is long gone.
I don't think so. I think everybody needs a little bit of their child self still. Or else how would you dream and have fun? And then you dream of having your kingdom. That's kind of your inner child.
Oh, I bet you're wondering why we're here.
A little.
How we got here, yeah.
I don't know either.
Is it just because magic's kind of weird right now, you think?
Supposedly, but
Yes.
my magic hasn't failed me yet.
Why would it return us to your memory, though?
I don't know.
It could be because the mirror was once a part of you, and you're using it now as a siphon for its magic, and maybe, since it's broken, there's still pieces and parts of you within it.
I like the way you think. It's possible. Magic works in very strange ways.
It does.
And as this is said, the castle starts to change form as a the room kind of changes and twists to another chamber room somewhere else in the castle, and you see the counterpart of Evelyn and Queen Meredith as they are conversing late one night. And you, Evelyn, you can clearly see has like red puffy eyes as she'd been crying, and she says, I don't want to go to Wakefield. I want to stay here in the castle with you and Papa and Lily." "Evelyn, don't be such a fool. You cannot stay here. Your magic is going to terrify your people. If you're going to control it, there's no better school. You will stay there until you finish, and then you'll come back here." And Meredith goes to like walk out of the chamber, and Evelyn, without looking at her, she says, "It's not my fault you think I'm evil." Meredith stops and she turns and she says, "What did you say?" Evelyn turns to look at her mother and says, "I said, it's not my fault that you think I'm evil." "Why do you think? I heard you and Papa talking last night. You both said that I would become evil and burn everything in my path because I was born under a black sun. You insolent girl, you were eavesdropping on us in our own private quarters. I came to tell you good night before heading to bed. The door was cracked open. Couldn't help but hear what you were saying." Queen Meredith goes over to Evelyn, and she smacks her across the face. "You will do well to obey my orders, Evelyn. If you have so much put a toe out of line, I will have you sent away to Wakefield, and you will not return over the holidays. You will stay there until you learn to behave, learn how to be obedient, and follow orders. How could you possibly become queen if you defy the current one?" You see that tears start streaming down Evelyn's face. And Meredith says, "What?" Evelyn doesn't say anything before Meredith turns and walks out of the chamber. The real Evelyn, you can see her like put a hand to her cheek, where her mother had once hit it. Before that Evelyn, like the younger Evelyn, disappears in a cloud of black smoke. At the real Evelyn turns and looks at you and says, I didn't know we'd be going this far into my private memories. I'm sorry you had to see that.
Evie, are you okay?
I'm fine. But I don't know the horrors we're about to witness here. I loved my castle and I loved my sister and my father. I loved my people. I loved my kingdom. But I couldn't help but be treated as a villain before I even ever became one. And the room starts to change and morph again. It's nighttime, and you seem to be in Evelyn's bedroom, um, where her things are packed into trunks and bags all around the room. Um, as Evelyn sits on the windowsill that overlooks the courtyard below, um, and a small little bluebird comes and flies in through the window, um, and it lands on her finger. And she says, "Well, hello there, little guy. You know, you're absolutely lucky. You get to spread your wings and fly anywhere you want to go. You can be free instead of looked at like some monster. I don't know why they hate me so much. I didn't control when I was born." The bird flies over from her finger over to the vanity, and young Evelyn follows and sits down. She looks at the bird and says, "Do you want to know a secret? Do you promise not to tell? I've always wished that when I became queen, that I will make sure everyone gets their own happy ending, where everyone can be free, no matter who they are, and well, that a handsome prince will be by my side, and we will rule together as equals." And she looks at herself in the mirror, and she's beautiful. She's a beautiful young girl. And then the bird flies over to where her closed trunk is. And Evelyn turns on the stool and faces the bird and says, "But I have to go to some boarding school to learn how to control my magic so that when I come back, the people won't be so afraid of me. I never thought of myself as mean or wicked or evil. That's what my mother says I'm going to become. Just so tired of being alone, little bird." And young Evelyn starts to cry um, before the door opens, and Queen Meredith, dressed in like a nightgown and lantern in her hand, approaches the room. "Wipe your tears and stop being so pathetic. No one will trust you, the queen, if you cry all the time. They'll think you're weak." And Evelyn's mother goes over to the window and shoos away the bird as it flies out of the window, and she closes the shutters. Evelyn says, "I'm not weak, mother." "Then prove it. Your ride is here waiting for you outside. Your father and sister are already asleep, so they will not be able to wish you goodbye. Will you walk me to the carriage?" "I can't. I'm tired. I only came to give you this." And Meredith, she pulls something out from her side and hands it over. It looks to be an envelope of some sort. "Give this to Lady Morgonna La Fey, and don't you dare read it. I will know if you do." Evelyn, young Evelyn, starts to cry again. And Meredith says, "What did I just tell you about crying?" Uh, that that you spit it out." "I will never be good enough for you, will I?" Meredith turns to leave, with her hand placed on the door. She just turns her head and looks at her daughter. "You don't have to. Your sister already is." And she closes the door before leaving the room. You see Evelyn start tearing up and crying before gathering her bag and heading out of the room as well, leaving you alone with the older Evelyn. That was the last night that I ever saw my mother.
Uh, why were they so afraid of you? That doesn't make sense.
My mother and father said that I was fulfilling some prophecy about being born under the black sun curse. They said that if I didn't learn how to control my powers, that I would become corrupted and evil, and that I would become an evil queen. They got that right.
I don't think you're evil.
I appreciate the sentiment, Baili, but I have done very evil things in my past.
Do
I
you
don't
think
think. Oh,
is it really all just because you were born under a black sun?
His sub wives' tale that my mother and father believed in. They didn't want some witch of a daughter running the kingdom and running it into the ground. They believed that if I did it, the world would burn.
But do you believe that? Do you believe that the evil deeds that you committed, the things that you did, do you think that you're part of some prophecy?
Well, if you've read your history books, you'll know that I did. I became the evil queen. I took the heart from Snow White to open a doorway to get Oknos back to this world and take his magic. I cursed entire kingdoms for people to forget who they truly were, killed hundreds, if not thousands, of innocent lives, all in the name of my queendom. But I suppose that we will never know what I truly was going to be as queen, since my magic was taken from me by that boy you are all so fond of.
You don't
Right.
think. You don't think. This sounds really bizarre, you guys, but you know how Obsidious has been kind of controlling Oknos this whole time? You don't think his hands has been in her destiny too, right?
I think it's hard to say. In a way, you could say that his hand has been in all of our destinies, considering he rewrote history.
And it's, oh gosh, what is the term that the fairy godmother said? When we go to sleep and our mind travels,
Mm-hmm.
to either have good or bad dreams. So he would have a hold on all of us in a way, but we would wake up. We have that freedom to wake up.
So he could have been planting any evil deeds anyone's ever done. So we don't even know
And
if we've been acting ourselves on our own accord, I guess. You weren't ever mean or evil before your magic was taken, right, Evie?
Well, when I showed up at Wakefield, everyone loved me. They saw me as popular and beautiful. For I was to be queen one day, everyone wanted to be my friend. And I'm sure that I crushed the hearts of guys and girls who wanted my affection and trampled over those who got in my way. Suppose I was trying to prove myself, and then Sapphiria High Magic and Eliot Spell walked into my life. And ever since then, both of them have been a thorn in my side. But I suppose that I've also been the same to them. I didn't make it easy for Eliot. He was smart. He is smart. But I wanted power. I wanted control. That's why I did the things I wanted to do to prove myself, to prove to my mother that I was more than just some monster.
That's right in itself proving you're a monster, wanting and craving power.
Well,
I
tell that to a
disagree with
six.
that statement. I don't think that wanting and achieving great power inherently makes you evil or bad. I think it depends on how it's used.
I didn't say
I would
evil.
love that.
I said monster. I don't know,
Monster. I still
monsters are
don't think it.
evil.
I think you're both probably kind of right, but I think it's good, Evie, that you realized that you were hard on Eliot and Sapphiria too. You don't still feel that kind of hunger for power like you did then, do you?
I wanted more than I can even tell.
That was before. What about now?
I still do. I want my crown and throne back. That's what I want. That is my happy ending. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my happy ending. That is why I need Eliot awake.
And he could help fix you. Not fix you, that sounded so wrong. I'm sorry. I mean, this help whatever inside you making you feel that way, I guess.
I've seen what he does for other people. Cinderella, Aurora, Snow White. He helped them achieve their happy endings. Why can't he give me my own happy ending?
I think because he's afraid of what you'll do with the power that comes along with a happy ending like that. At least that would be my fear.
Judgment.
Not judgment. Or is that what you plan on doing to the world, is a judgment?
I did that, and you've seen how it ended. Imprisoned in an eternal nightmare called a castle that never existed. But now that I'm free, like I've said before, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. I will become queen again, and I will try to right the wrongs that I've done. There will be people that stand in my way in order to achieve my means. Normally, I would just kill them. But being around you, I've learned that killing is not always the best way to achieve your ends. Diplomacy, bravery, courage, friendship, that is the true key to happiness.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't kill the dwarves when you went to get your totem. That was probably a better choice.
It took me everything to not. It was like I was fighting the demon inside of me.
That just proves how strong you are.
Suppose. But I'm too weak to defeat it inside of myself.
For now.
For now.
But once you rid yourself of that demon, it'll be a lot easier to do and accomplish all of those things that you said before. What takes true happiness? Bravery, friendship, diplomacy. It'll be easier.
Suppose you're right.
And Eliot can he get rid of the demon inside of you? If he's kind of the cause that it's there, right?
That's what I hope. But every documented case of demonic possession has ended bad. The host will suffer and die.
Right.
Is it like a permanent death, or can you be brought back?
I don't know. We could always test it.
Risk dying?
No. Finding a demon to possess you, we kill you and try to resurrect you.
Or we could just wait to test it when it's your turn.
Interesting when you want to test theories on someone who's not yourself.
Well, it sounds like you're headed in that direction to achieve your goals. So at the very least, and Meryl will straighten up and look very proud, I will be there to, maybe help you come back if it goes south. So
Well, once all the totems are reunited, I will have that power to do so.
Yeah, and Eliot, this sounds wrong again. Eliot seems very confident and strong in his magical skill, and I'm sure he'd be able to help you. And if we ever find Severia, she might be able to too. I don't know what magic she deals in with, but yeah.
Shady magic.
You
Shady?
have a lot to learn about Miss High Magic.
We don't really know anything about her, to be honest.
We just can't trust her, like you said.
It's best that you don't. The more you know, the deeper into the rabbit hole you will go. The
Well,
less you know, the more happiness you'll find.
is she really that dark?
She betrayed me. She was the only friend I ever had. All because she was sent on Eliot's orders, following his orders like a true lapdog.
You don't think she was
Really, you
following
can't.
orders this time, right?
Who knows?
Oh, it has been a refreshing image to see your story, Evelyn.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing, even if you didn't mean to. But I'm very worried about the forest and the elder tree. Is there a way to get there?
Well, possible. I can try again. Your shards of my mirror. Bring them out. One more time. And she goes and she starts humming um, uh, before saying some more enchanted words as the black clouds of smoke and the sounds of crows echo through the hall. It surrounds you, and you disappear before eventually finding yourself in a large forest, similar to the one that Eliot and Meryl had grown up in.
Well, this looks like it.
Eliot, Meryl, do you guys know for sure? Where
It
where
seems
are we?
odd, but it looks like it is. But Jupiter said it was destroyed.
Do you know how to get to the Elder Tree? Maybe we're not at the destroyed part.
That could be. Yes, I can show you guys the way. We've made pilgrimages through the forest before.
That's lucky.
You begin to follow Eliot and Meryl as you head through the forest, deeper and deeper in, and you see little fairy lights twinkling across the forest floor, and little pixies and other enchanted creatures pass you by, and large crystal stones grow out of the ground, and this forest looks beautiful and magical. Sweet smells fill your nostrils as you're seeing no signs of damage or the forest being destroyed. Before eventually you arrive at the gates of the giant elvish forest and city of Hollowroot, where trees are huge and round and giant houses are grown off the branches of it in this Victorian and inspired Art Deco Nouveau Riche looking designs. As elves go along their wood elves go along their ways of their days, and everything seems fine and normal.
This really doesn't seem to be horribly destroyed.
Is this the
Looks
right tree?
like I remember it.
Yes, yes, it's the right tree. We're in the right place.
weren't we given a vision of people literally fighting right around this area?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought everything would be dead.
Is your mirror? I mean, obviously your mirror is broken, but was it broken before we broke it? Broke it?
I don't know. This is strange.
Do we see people anywhere?
There are elves all over going about their daily routines.
Um, Thal will go up to
Hmm.
one of them and pat him on the back.
The woman, she turns around and she says in Elvish, I'm about to come up with some words. Oh, Sivako, nu para via? Does anyone speak Elvish?
Uh,
I
I
do.
let me check my character
I do.
sheet.
Okay.
Nice. I had to check just in case. Yes, I do.
You're fine. I would assume you probably would.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it does
Okay,
not.
so Meryl and Elowen, you hear her say, "Oh, you startled me. How can I help you?"
We are so sorry to startle you, ma'am. Um,
Do you say this in Elvish? Do you say this in Common?
Elvish.
Okay.
Uh, we are just humble travelers, and we're wondering if you've heard anything of commotion around here. We have heard some horrible tales and came here in hopes of rescuing you all, but it seems nothing has happened.
Avas. Nusa parati. Nuvakan shisava nebara. And this translates out to saving, rescuing. No, everything's fine here. But welcome to Hollowroot. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. Could you point us in the direction of the castle?
Ah, Namsa parati. And she points off to a larger tree in the forest, and she says, "Ah, just over there."
Thank you, madame.
You're very welcome. Welcome to Hollowroot. May the weave guide you.
May the weave guide you. And she turns around. He said nothing had happened. We have to check it out for ourselves. Let's go to the castle.
So,
As we're
go-
walking to the castle, I'm gonna try to like get towards maybe I don't know the middle of the group or like shimmy behind Lucan in a way that kind of helps obscure me a little. And my eyes are gonna go black, and I'm gonna cast detect magic as we walk, and I'm just gonna take in buildings, people, anything. If I can pick up like a some sort of illusion spell or some awkwardness with magic going on.
sure. When you cast a spell, it's almost as if like your magic is a puzzle, and the magic around you is also a puzzle, and your like magic is like beautifully interlocking, as if there's nothing wrong. There's magic everywhere, illusion magic. There's, different all different types of just things you are very, very much so used to in the Enchanted Forest. Nothing seems out of the ordinary, nothing seems different. This feels corporal, this feels real.
Huh. I'm so confused, you guys. And I'll drop it so my eyes go back to normal.
Did you find anything?
No, it just looks like it's always looked. The people, the illusion magic that's normally about, everything is just breathing it and it looks healthy.
But Jupiter said.
You guys,
Bad.
you don't think this could be a trap, do you? Like somebody caused that vision? I mean, Obsidious does kind of cause nightmarish things, nightmarish visions and ideas. You don't think that we were lured here, do
But
you?
Jupiter saw the queen, the court, all fall asleep in that curse. She told us that everything was destroyed, that the forest was being eaten alive.
Did
I
I
Jupiter see it? Or did she, see it? Was she there physically?
She
I
said
think she
she
was there
was.
physically.
Well, maybe we should try to find this court then, because everything seems to be fine and dandy. Maybe we should ask about Queen Seraphina.
I think that's a good idea.
Ask a local. And then at least we'll know if everything is really fine or if something weird is happening.
Or we could just go up and ask herself. The castle's right over there.
Can we do
Okay.
that? I guess.
Well, remember, I forget who said, but they said Queen Seraphina, she was a keeper. I'm sure that she would want to speak to the other keepers, the new.
Alright. Worth a shot.
Well, let's give her a try.
You head down the forested path, passing by houses and homes and shops and people, little children, pass by playing different games and chasing after fireflies and things like that. As you head to this wooden staircase that leads up a swirling staircase on the tree, where this gorgeous white palace in the treetops glisten in the sun. Um, Two elvish guards stand at the base of the tree, and one of them says, Nava, param som nevako. And he says, Halt. What business do you bring here?
We just tell them that we're keepers.
Hello, good sir. We are the keepers of Everas, and we wish to have a meeting with High Queen Seraphina.
Ah, Queen Seraphina. Yes, you may have her presence. I will summon her for you. One moment. And he takes his hands, and glowing magic kind of shoots off from his hands. You see it spiral up the staircase and into the castle. A few moments pass before you see people heading down the steps. You see this woman of green leaves and beautiful flowing dress as she's surrounded by female elves as they descend the staircase in this ethereal glow. They look tough but beautiful. Queen Seraphina, she stops just at the base of the stairs, and you just see her stand up in a very, very queenly, state. And she looks at you all, and Evelyn immediately bows to her.
Bailey will bow.
I'll curtsy.
Someone will bow. Oh,
Uh,
curtsy, yeah.
We'll curtsy, but then hide behind Lucan real fast.
I see that you have summoned me, keepers of Everas. Come, let's have tea. And she guides you up the stairs to this beautiful, immaculate palace. With large columns made out of roots and trees as branches over across, and leaves and wisteria hang from the ceiling, and glowing blue lights twinkle as you make your way to a grand hall where there is just this huge table full of pastries and cakes and foods and wines of all sorts before Seraphina sits down at the head of the table and motions you all to sit.
I sit.
Bailey will take a place at the table.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Seraphina, she waves her hands as sparkles kind of emanate from it, as five teacups and a floating teapot comes and pours each of you a drink. Um, every time it pours, it's a different color, it's a different smell. Each of those of your favorite drinks, already known to the teapot. Seraphina, she lifts up her wine glass and takes a sip, and then and motions for you all to take a drink before setting it back down.
Takes a drink.
Delicious.
Now, what can I do for you, heroes?
Meryl does not take a drink. She just lets it sit in front of her.
Meryl, you would know that this would be a very bad custom to do in presence of the queen.
Just kidding. Fine. She'll raise it to her lips and she'll look light and she'll swallow, but she's not actually going to swallow any of it. She does not trust.
Remember, this is part of your heritage. Like, this is half of your heritage, and you're a queen.
supposed to be on fire, and it's not, though.
Fair. So, what can I do for you?
Queen Seraphina, we've heard some very distressing news from, I believe, someone in your court who came to us. Jupiter? You know her, right?
Of course I do. She's here. Do you want me to summon her?
She's here.
Of course she is. She's brought in my court.
She was a dead sleep in my arms, though. She had to, like, put her in a coffin.
She was
Is it-
cursed.
Is it possible that we've traveled back in time?
Traveling through time. Sounds like you're on one of Eliot's adventures.
Yes, but without him.
Yes. I've sensed his magic has gone and dissipated.
Gone?
It came back for a brief moment, but it's gone again. Strange. She takes another sip of her wine.
Unfortunately, I don't think his is the only magic that's in danger of dwindling.
What do you mean?
Like Elowen said, we've kind of received some distressing news, and I think maybe you and the Elder Tree are in danger.
Grave danger. Jupiter came to us. We were in Eliot's tower. I'm sure you've been there before. And she came to tell us that you and all of the court fell asleep in the curse that took Eliot, the same one. And then the whole forest was on fire. And the Dreamless, these evil beings were attempting to attack the Elder Tree. And magic was being sucked away from it. We would not come here if we would not be here if we did not think this was true. And Jupiter fell asleep in Thal's arms in that same curse. And our friend here transported us here, thinking we would have to fight and, try to save you all.
Hmm.
But we have arrived here and it seems like nothing is wrong.
This is troubling. Elowen, yes? Of the Arbori people?
Yes, yes.
Now, the first and foremost I must discuss is Fae cannot be put to sleep. We are far more powerful than curses and sleep at all. We can sleep, but magic cannot do so. So we are perfectly fine here. Second of all, you said this was Jupiter, yes? I was just conversing with her before I got sent a message from the gods down below. I shall summon her. And you see the magic kind of swirl as she casts a sending spell. Um, and a couple moments pass before you see Jupiter and her long braids down with golden flecks in her celestial dress as she kind of slowly makes her way down the stairs and then she sees you all and she kind of quickens her paces as she comes in. She says, "Hello, Your Majesty. Hello. Good to see you all."
But,
Very troubling.
but Lucifer fell asleep.
Lucifer, the higher vampire. This is not possible.
It
It's
is.
True, it's true. And if somehow we did end up a little bit back in time, Seraphina, you did fall asleep.
Jupiter, she kind of steps forward and she says, "If you may, Your Majesty, you said traveling through time.
Maybe.
We
It's
don't
a
know.
hunch. Yeah.
I have not sensed any time travel on anywhere on Everas. And I would know. Kind of my forte."
What if that Eliot magic burst that you felt, maybe that did it? When was that?
Couldn't possibly remember. Within the last month or so? 2 months ago? Time is strange when you're as old as I.
What is Evelyn doing right now? I just like to.
Evelyn's quiet. She's drinking her tea and Letting kind of keeping to herself because she knows like she's Evelyn, so she's trying
Mhm.
not to be, discovered.
Jupiter came to us. You showed up, distressed. You said everyone at court fell asleep in that same curse that took Eliot, and that you said the forest was burning and the elder tree was under attack. And
We
then you
lost our
yourself,
magic for a while, like a
and you
quick second.
and you yourself fell asleep in Thal's arms. We couldn't stop it.
Uh, is this some type of joke? Because I mean, I've been here the whole time researching, trying to figure out what's going on with all that. But no, I haven't fallen asleep, and the elder tree is definitely safe.
Who?
The date.
What?
What's the date? I feel like that will tell us whether or not we've traveled back in time, though I have to be honest, I wasn't really paying much attention when we were back home with the Jupiter that we know. Or
Jupiter,
last.
yeah, Jupiter tells you the date, which lines up with the time frame that you are familiar with.
Um, this sounds weird, but is there a way we can see into Eliot's clock tower to see if you are asleep there as a current? Just to confirm that everything is not. It's weird. It's just weird, I know.
I'm worried that this could be some sort of a setup.
It
So,
wasn't really Jupiter.
I just don't know. But if this is the same day and everything is fine and that vision wasn't real, then somebody came into Eliot's clock tower and convinced us to come here.
And then fell asleep?
If they fell asleep there and they weren't actually cursed, Eliot and the others could be in danger, though. We just left them
What if.
there.
Oh.
I just don't see a logical explanation other than that.
Illusion magic.
Unless. Oh. Oh, I mean no disrespect by this, unless this isn't the Jupiter that we think it is.
well, suppose I could help alleviate that.
I'm
And she
sorry.
casts Circle of Truth.
Ah.
Jupiter, are you who you say you are? And Jupiter says, absolutely, sure as the day I was born. Or night. I don't remember.
Hmm. Okay.
Great. And Jupiter, where have you been all day? Oh, upstairs. Studying, researching, trying to figure out what's going on with the world. Perfect. Just as I suspected.
I'm
Now,
gonna. Are we all in the circle?
yes.
Cool. I'm going to just very quickly without letting anybody else go. I'm just going to recount everything that we went through with our Jupiter and the story that we heard so that they know that we aren't being shifty either. So just kind of recap.
Interesting. So you're both telling the truth.
So, who came into the clock tower disguised as Jupiter?
Evelyn, you see her kind of shift in her seat, and she puts down her drink and she says, that witch. There's one other who's good at disguises.
Who?
Ursula.
I side eye Thal.
That's
Like-
gonna sink in her seat a little bit. Like, what?
And that clock tower is supposed to have wards on it that where anyone who is not invited can't come in. Thalasia, you did say that you were now tainted with the sea witch's magic, therefore you invited her in.
Thal,
Excuse me, your majesty, but we do have to depart back to the clock tower. And Seraphina, she says, why do you look so familiar? And Evelyn, you can see her fighting with every fiber of her being to not say who she says she is. But because of the circle of truth, she says, Evelyn Beauclair. Seraphina stands up immediately from the table and says, I do think it is time that you had left.
We'll be on our way. Thank you so much for sitting with us. and helping us figure this out. It's been a strange day.
Yes. And do not return here with that woman.
Very well, Your Majesty.
But she's
You
nice.
I think
you
she's
see
helping, but that's okay.
you see Jupiter stand there, just processing and like kind of hurt that she wasn't told that, like, hey, but it's nothing that you guys could have controlled. Before Evelyn excuses herself and immediately starts walking out of the palace.
Thal will curtsy and like rush after Evelyn because now she's embarrassed.
Thank you, Queen Seraphina. Baili will bow and leave the room as well.
Your Majesty, and I'll curtsy.
Elowen was also bowed. She says, "It was a pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty, and I'm terribly sorry it was under these circumstances. Hopefully in the future it would not be like this. Stay safe, all of you." And she looks, at the other elves in the room, and she turns.
Jen will like give a quick head nod and be like, "I'm sure I'll see you. We'll see you all again," and then kind of like a little quick bow, and then I'll leave.
You guys exit the palace as you're kind of trailing Evelyn down the stairs as she's walking at a quick pace. And then she stops at the bottom as Thal approaches it, and Evelyn turns to Thal and says, "What on earth were you thinking?"
I just touched it. I just touched the cauldron. And then she gave me all the smart things in my head, and I could change to a human, and then I got spells, and I was just asking for help.
Is
Oh.
that why you can read now?
Yes.
Where did you say you got your magic before this?
Well, I could sing. She lies. I sing, and I have magic. Like all mermaids.
Can you roll deception?
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll insight on the side too?
Nat 20.
Oh.
22.
Okay. All right.
Nat
Well,
1.
With your deception, Evelyn can see that it seems to be that you are possibly telling the truth, but she just like looks at you like very disconcerting. And she says, "So you sing, right? And a mermaid?"
Mhm.
But that still begs the question, where does your magic come from?
She's just looking at the others. There's this tentacle that I can perform.
I assume black.
Yeah.
Interesting. The mark of the sea witch.
They were going to help me get my family back. I had to in the moment. I had nothing else to do. I had nowhere else to turn to.
Baili will put
understand.
her hand on Thal's shoulder. You should have told us.
They promised that they would get them back, that they were powerful enough if they just had somebody else's magic.
So you made a contract, a pact, if you will, with some unknown being that said that they could give you power?
They're very convincing, okay? At the time, my entire family that's turned, and whatever those two people took, turned them, and they seemed aligned with my goals. They didn't want the mermaids be sirens anymore, and they were my only hope. Who was I going to turn to? Land people? You guys wouldn't help us.
You've mentioned that these two pirates had stolen something. What exactly did they steal?
It was this weird little thing that we worshipped, and a tentacle statue. I wasn't.
Purple?
Well,
Yeah.
was the size small? Looking like a gemstone almost?
Yeah.
Like a
Like a
Thal?
totem.
mm,
Maybe.
It was
bless ya.
probably a totem.
Thal? And Evelyn starts pacing back and forth. You see kind of smoke start to like go over her body and skin as her face turns pale and she looks back up at you with red eyes.
That's why I was concerned if I was a villain or not, okay? I have been truthful, honestly. I just didn't say the full truth.
What did we
Uh,
learn of the last time when the full truth wasn't spoken?
I tried telling you guys wouldn't listen.
It's not true. We would have listened to you. And you know
You
that.
weren't telling us the whole thing.
I-
How are we supposed to guess that you made a pact with a sea witch?
I didn't know it was a pact. She just said she would help me.
Listen, you know I understand. But we need to have everything out in the open at this point. And especially about, touching the cauldron and getting all this new knowledge and maybe letting her into Elliot's clock tower, I kind of think you should have mentioned.
I didn't.
Maybe
Speaking
she
of
didn't
which,
know.
there is a sea witch running rampant in Elliot's tower right now, and we
We
can
need to
have
know.
truth over tea and cookies, when our home is safe.
Well said. We should go.
Hmm.
Where's
I
the
look
key?
at
I have it here.
And Evelyn takes it from Elwyn's hand. She kind of snatches it up from her before she goes over to one of the doors, a random door in the house, and she unlocks it, pushes it open, and the glowing magic happens, and she steps inside quickly.
ooh, shimmy on inside.
Bailey follows.
I grab Thal's hand, and then we shimmy in together.
That was smart. She wasn't
I'm
gonna
Lucan.
go.
So you all pass through the doorway and back into the clock tower, and around you is trashed. There are papers and overturned books. The desk is destroyed,
Oh
and
no.
everything around the room is just been overturned. And Halloween just goes, "Ugh." And this eruption of black smoke and magic erupt out of the room. Where is the Arcanum?
On the
Oh,
desk.
balls.
The Arcanum is not there anymore.
About the coffins.
We left the Arcana behind.
We
Couldn't
left
take
our
it.
friends.
Is she gonna take entire coffins? We'll run and look, but I mean, they're big.
You all enter the other room where the coffins are, and nothing is in there.
Word.
No!
Oh god.
Elliot, fuck.
That's buddy.
That conniving, evil sea witch.
How are we supposed to put the totems in the casket if we don't have it?
Evelyn looks over at Thal.
I'm sorry.
Can you
Thal.
roll a Constitution saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
5.
Evelyn extends her hand into the air as Thal gets thrusted up into the air, held by an invisible hand around her neck as she is choking.
Can-
And yeah,
Uh,
Bailey try to grab Evelyn's arm and stop her.
roll a Constitution saving throw.
while all of this is happening and I see Bailey go at it, I'm going to pull my staff out and my eyes are going to go black, and then I'm going to shoot my hand forward and I'm going to cast a spell magic. It's only at 3rd level, so if it's anything higher than 3rd level, I have to roll for it.
Go ahead and roll.
Okay, I don't really know how the DC works for this. For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
So 13.
So I have to beat. I roll to beat 10 plus the level of whatever spell she just cast.
5.
Oh,
Um,
balls.
okay, so
I
Bailey
have
is
time
gonna
to make
she's gonna grab Evelyn's wrist and be like, stop. And
Oh,
I rolled a 10.
Yes, Meryl?
that is a 23 total. I rolled a 19 on the die.
Okay.
So, yes.
So multiple things happen instantaneously. Thal, you get dropped to the floor. Bailey, you get force pushed back up against the wall as a blast of magic and energy erupts out of Evelyn. Um, as it's all like happening at the same time, where the dispel magic happened with Thal, and then she
Thals
cast that.
probably.
Yeah. And Bailey, you will only take 5 points of damage,
Okay.
force damage.
I stand in front of Thal with the staff out. Uh, we need to stay calm. Thal, made some mistakes. Fine. It happened and has maybe set us back a lot, but it happened. But killing her or fighting us is not really going to get them back anytime soon.
I don't
And you
plan
made a
on
pinky promise.
I don't plan on killing you, as that would break my pinky promise.
Okay.
What were you
Well,
trying to do?
Understand why Thal has invited a villain into the clock tower.
Why did
Bailey's gonna
Eliot?
get up.
What?
Why did Eliot?
Who are you speaking of?
Sapphira.
I don't know. Why don't you go ask him when he's 20,000 leagues under the sea? And Evelyn disappears out of the room.
she's a temperamental one, my goodness.
I mean, this is kind of a big deal. Mia's gone, Elliot's gone.
Totems
Like,
are gone. The totems were in the casket.
I mean, like all of the totems, everything we did is gone, Thal.
She's just kind of being really quiet, like this, on her knees. And then she's gonna cast, what is it called? Shape water, wherever like the sink, and she's gonna splash everybody and just run out the door.
Alasia.
When we get a second, I whip around to look at everybody. Whenever that is, we gonna have a campfire, and we gonna sing some songs, and we gonna talk. Because this keeps happening. And, obviously, I haven't said everything. I don't necessarily think that I have quite as much to say as maybe Bailey or Thal did. But still, I don't know much about Lucan and even Elowen, so we obviously need to sit down and chat. But
Okay, let's just agree if anyone has some sort of force of dark magic or a threat to any of us, let's
fair.
just get that out in the open.
A portion
We'll
of
get
my
Thal.
magic comes from Grimm. Like a pretty big portion of it, directly from him. I was born with a weird connection. I'm just gonna put that out there.
That's
Lucan's just kind
tragic.
of like standing there, like for a second, and like looking between you as you're talking and the door, and he's gonna run out like mid-sentence and chase after Thal.
Elowen, if you maybe you should go too.
It's not good before with dealing with your secrets.
Yeah, but we got that out of the way and it didn't endanger. What does that have to do with me? I'm just
I
trying.
think she's just worried about the way that she's going to react with Thal.
Yes.
Just go be calm. You're a soothing presence, and
Go.
Thal needs a soothing presence. Just
All right.
I trust you.
Come on, Sprig. We have some work to do. And she's gonna run out the door with and she's gonna put Sprig in her bag of holding, so Sprig doesn't fall out.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn and look at Bailey.
You put a live creature into the bag of holding?
No, I don't. I think about it, and then I put it on her shoulder. And I was just like, hold on.
Don't put a live creature
Yeah.
in a bag of holding.
I had a momentary lapse. I'm sorry.
Just floating around in nothing. I turn around, look at Baili, and go, "You have balls for running at Evelyn like that. Maybe next time, you know, we leave the magic fighting to the magic users. No offense. I know why you did it, but goodness gracious.
I have some magic.
I
No, I don't know. I didn't. You're right. You're right. I didn't
It
think
was
about it.
impressive. I like your
No,
gumption, but still.
I mean I hit the wall hard enough. It hurt.
No.
Don't get me wrong, but we can't be strangling each other. And also, Evelyn did make a promise not to kill us, not to
Mhm.
harm us. I mean, I trust her. I don't know. We just saw all that. I, I guess I can understand losing your temper.
I can too, and I mean she's had many, many years in which she didn't have to. And she's trying, you know, but
I,
she's kind of like a, I don't know,
I don't know what
oil
to
and
think.
fire.
I just don't know what to think about Evelyn, but I do trust her, I guess, but I can see why she's mad at Thal. Don't get me wrong. I
Hmm.
understand Thal's motives as well as any of us, but um, where the fuck is Mia
Our
and
assumption is
Eliot and
at the bottom
Lucifer?
of the ocean. Why though? Why would she want to take all of them? It makes
Uh,
no sense.
I sure as shit don't want to go to the bottom of the ocean.
I don't think we have a choice. I will say, it's probably not the person you necessarily want to be putting your life in their hands right now, but Thal did turn Lucan and I into some mermaids, and it, while was weird moving around, at least, I could breathe fine and talk fine. So,
I just have a fear. I don't like it.
I
I've never
understand.
liked it. I don't know. Just maybe we should start putting this place back together while they wrangle Thal.
Okay, get to
Bailey will
tighten that
start
up.
picking up some of the stuff that's been destroyed, looking over what was knocked off of Eliot's desk, kind of maybe hoping to find. I guess the Arcanum would be nice, but she'll just start cleaning up.
Okay.
So I don't know if it matters, but at 5th level, I can run 10, or my movement speed increases 10 feet. So I don't know if everybody's does or not, but okay. So I don't know if that matters when I'm trying to catch Thal.
Okay.
Okay, it means you move faster, technically.
Is yours still 30 feet?
Yes, it is. Swimming's
Okay.
more.
So you go to chase after Thal. She got a little bit of a head start, and I'm assuming she goes out of the clock tower, correct?
Correct. Do you want me to text you where I go or just say it?
Sure.
Say it or text it?
Oh, I mean, I'm about to
Okay, we're gonna say
describe
it.
where.
Okay. Unless there's some place you want her to go. I'm
No.
cool with that too. Okay. Thal is gonna go towards the shore, to the port, and she's probably gonna try to jump into the ocean.
Okay. Okay. So you all, Thal, with her head start, kind of for a little bit, she does make her way out of the clock tower and down, close to where the harbor is. Lucan, you catch up close behind to actually see where she goes, dodging through people of Haven City before heading down to the harbor where she is. Ellen, you're having some troubles trying to keep up with Lucan and his long legs. But eventually you go down to the harbor side where you see Thal standing on the edge of a dock.
Thal's like thinking about jumping in and it's like completely running away. Or like trying to ride it
Lucan
herself.
Lucan's gonna slow down at the end of the dock, but he's gonna keep like slowly walking forward. Thal, don't even just like don't get in there. Like if you could wait, we can all get in and you can help us breathe because you're wonderful. We know that it's your fault, but it's not your fault.
It's okay, it's my fault. A lot of this is my fault.
Does Elwyn finally catch up to them?
Yes.
Elwyn, she's huffing and puffing. Thal, we know you made a mistake. We all have made mistakes, big or small. Everyone on our team has.
Has your mistake caused
You
a
didn't
war?
know. We were at war with them way before this happened. And you couldn't have possibly known that she was actually Ursula and she would use you to get into Eliot's tower. I didn't know.
None
I
of us
mean,
could tell. How would we expect you?
did you know she was going to hop into Eliot's tower?
DM, would I have known? No.
So yes, you did make a mistake by making a deal with her.
It wasn't a mistake.
What?
I'd still do it. Who else is gonna help?
But you made those choices and you're here now. Who else is gonna help? Who's gonna help right now? Now that it's all done, it's us. Your friends. Yeah, Evelyn's pretty mad, but she'll get over herself. She has a short fuse.
Like
She
most
has to get
landwalkers
over
do.
herself. What was that?
Like most landwalkers do.
Like most landwalkers do, we tend to have short fuses. Yes, we were all shocked and mad when we first found out but you have to understand that we're allowed to feel what we feel as much as you are allowed to feel what you feel.
I did
Going
try
and
telling
jumping
you.
in now? Honey, you tried, but we couldn't even guess of what you were trying to say. We had no idea that you would have made a pact. We all thought you had magic before this. We we didn't know.
I did have magic beforehand. But it's not very good. I just got
It
it.
seems like singing magic and this new magic is a lot different. But we didn't know this new magic was new. We didn't fully understand what you were trying to say.
I also didn't know it was new. I just know that I agreed to the terms.
I mean, we agreed to the terms with Evelyn too, and honestly, there's a good chance that that could end badly for all of us too, and we don't know. And you were trying to help, and I'm not even mad at you. Am I mad that all of our shit's missing? A little bit, but that's not your fault. That is Ursula's fault. She's the one who tricked us. She's the one who came in and took all of our people and our Eliot's things.
Do you think Eliot will be
And
mad?
No.
no. But say you do jump into the water. We can't follow you. I mean, I can follow you for about an hour, but that's it. And are you gonna fight Ursula alone? The person who you made a deal with? You can't do this alone. We have to do it together and get all of our things back together. And Eliot back together, because if you go out on your own, if you jump in that water right now, we can't help you.
You remember how it felt when Baili and Eowyn were fighting and Baili left and we all felt disconnected?
Yeah.
If you leave us, that could happen again. You are part of all of us.
I couldn't get to there anyhow. I don't know where even Davie Jones' locker is.
Have we known where we're going half the time we've been together?
It's true.
We'll figure it out, and we'll figure it out together.
I came here looking for the Black Pearl. And obviously
The ship?
there's no ship at this dock.
Well,
As you're all talking, storms approach the shores of the harbor as the waves start to get rockier and more large. And then you see, just beyond the bay, a large wave coming in straight towards the harbor. And these tentacles arise from the ocean near where the three of you are. Roll for initiative.
Oh, shit.
That I was about to say.
Bailey and I are just like dusting and cleaning.
So I didn't actually level up. I just knew that my
Girl.
speed increased. That's a problem.
No!
I forgot. Y'all didn't remind me. I didn't forget last time.
All right. Well, we'll see how far we can go. Go ahead, the three of you.
I got a 15.
Okay.
13.
5.
Ooh.
Alrighty. So Lucan, Eloin, Thal. You'll just have to roll with your level 4 right now until you can level up
That's
yourself to 5.
fine. That's my own fault.
Alrighty. So these tentacles sprout up around the ocean, like in the heart in the dock that you are on, and a tentacle crashes down, separating the dock from the land base as you're kind of now in an island in the harbor side. And three tentacles surround each of your sides. Lucan, you're up first.
Okay. Well, then he's gonna freak out. And he's going to pull out um the little like disappearing weapon from Eliot, and he is going to take a swing at it.
Okay.
And that oh I had 10.
Does not hit. You come very close, like you sling out your weapon as it appears from the hilt. And you go to like slash it real quick where the tentacle is, but the tentacle dodges out of the way very quickly. Elwyn, you're up next.
Evelyn looks around and sees now they're not cut off from land, pretty much. Like they're on this dock and this island of the dock. She looks around. Most of her magic is based off of the earth, plants. So she thinks of the next thing and she jumps in the water.
Okay.
And she casts Wild Shape. And she turns into a reef shark.
Okay.
I believe that takes my action.
Yep. Thal, you're up next.
Thal is going to cast Chill Touch on hers in front of her. Do I need to roll for the hit?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, it would have been 25 anyhow. 15 points of damage.
Okay. For the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's the 2 bolts. I added them together.
Okay. Got it. So that one kind of like you see that ghostly magic come and crinkle over the tentacle as it like waves really quickly before disappearing under the water, leaving only 2 left. The one tentacle by Lucan, 8 plus 17 to hit, so that hits. Okay, So you're gonna take 10 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are now grappled. On your next attack action or term, you will have to roll to escape. Um, all right. So then the next one is going after Thal, which is a plus 17 to hit. That hits. Also, same thing, 10 points of damage. You are also grappled. Lucan, we're back up at your turn. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
$17.
Okay. So you are trying to pull yourself out of this tentacle, and if you would have just had one more point, you could have ungrappled yourself from the grasp of the tentacle. Evelyn, you are now underwater as a reef shark, where you see the tentacle has gone underwater and is going towards you. Go ahead.
Okay, so she's going to do a bite on the tentacle. Let's see. Ooh, God, I did not. That was 7 to hit.
No, yeah,
Okay.
it does not.
She
So you
missed.
like,
She's
yeah,
not quite sure how
right,
to reef
trying
shark
to,
yet.
yeah, for sure. All right, and then Thal, your turn again. You will roll strength.
17.
Yeah, again, same thing. All right. So, the tentacle that's holding Lucan is going to use fling, as it has grappled you on it. You're going to be thrown 60 feet up into the air, thrown high into the sky. Same thing for Thal as well, as both of you are catapulted 30 feet up into the air. As you come plummeting down towards the ocean, you feel yourself slow before you hit the ocean, and you look on the shore and you see Evelyn. She's holding both of you before you hit the ground, and you can see her pulling you back towards the dock to set you back down. All right, back at the top of Lucan.
Well, she can't be that mad. And then he gets back a hold of his weapon and tries to. God damn it.
Would you roll?
Another 17.
Oh no, you're out of the grapple now.
Oh, to hit. Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought it was 17 to hit.
No,
Or
no, no,
not.
no, no, no.
Okay.
No, 17 to
Never mind.
18 to get out of the grapple.
Well, then I think I have
So
to
yeah,
add.
that was your
Okay,
plus to
yeah.
whatever your hit. Yeah, 17 would have hit anyways. So
Okay.
you go and you swing down and you cut into the tentacle, and black ooze starts to spray everywhere. What is the damage?
Uh, what's the thingy for it? Because I don't have.
Whatever weapon you placed into it. So if it's your great axe, it's your whatever, it's
Oh,
war
okay.
scythe, it's whatever. Yeah.
Uh, that is a 15,
Yep. Okay, so you
I
slash
think.
into it. Yeah, sure, we'll go with it. So you slash into it as ooze starts going everywhere, as this tentacle goes down into the water. Elowin, back to your reef sharkiness.
She's going to try again
Okay.
with vigor. No, she still can't get the hang of it.
Are, are, does it bite has a +2 to attack, right?
+4.
+4. Okay, +4 to hit. And what?
I rolled a 2.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. So if the tentacle also dodges out of the way from the reef sharkiness. And as you're kind of swimming and you dodging it, you see this black abyssal creature just come through the water, barreling towards shore. This gigantic looking thing. All right, Thal.
Thal's gonna see both tentacles on either side of her, and she's going to cast both her Eldritch Blasts, one going to the right, one going to the left.
Okay.
I had to find that die. So 7 each. That's it.
Okay. So both tentacles get gnarled and twisted as black ooze emanates out of them, and they disappear into the ocean, leaving there's no more tentacles around you except for the one that Elona is dealing with. So Elwyn, that tentacle goes after you with 10 hit points,
Okay.
and then it will go back to you with that tentacle.
Just rolled a nat 20.
Perfect, double damage.
Okay, so D8. 7 plus 2 times 6. 9
Okay.
times 6.
40,
55.
55,
Wait.
yeah. 9 times 6, 54.
54 times 2. Because that would be double damage.
Okay. So, Elowen rips into this
Jesus.
tentacle, and destroys it, and the black ooze kind of emanates after it. As you see the dark creature emerge through the threshold of the waves as it casts lightning storm over the area, where 3 bolts of lightning erupt out of it. The Lucan, Thal, and Evelyn roll a dexterity saving throw. You have to be the 23.
Oh my god.
Wait, do I have to roll it?
No, you do not.
Okay, because
No.
I'm underwater.
Evelyn, it's Evelyn, Lucan, and Thal.
I thought you said Elwyn and
Oh, yeah.
the word.
They're very similar.
20.
15.
15. Okay. So you take 4d10 lightning damage. All right, that's 12 points of damage. Elowen or Evelyn, you see her cast fly over to the docks of where you are, and she looks at Thal, and you just kind of see like her like have exchanged a knowing look that she's like, "What? Let's get this done." Do you know what I mean? Um, and she says, "I'm really sorry about this, Baili and Meryl, but..." And she twists her hands as black magic smoke erupts around Baili and Meryl back in the clock tower to be summoned to the talk. You both might be holding a broom or
Yeah,
papers
totally
in your
have a
hand
blue.
as you see what's going on right now. Both of you roll initiative.
Holy
It
crap.
was like, what the fuck?
What?
Okay, that was a nat 1 for initiative.
Okay, that's fine. It's
Oh.
yeah.
That's sweet. I made the gods mad.
7 total.
Great. You
Okay.
don't say.
You see this ship as it is like kind of like coming out from the docks, and you see this pirate on top of that as he looks down at you guys, and he says, "Oi, need a lift."
Do we? What's even going on?
Do you want to take on that thing?
Ain't worried about a crack in love.
Okay. She looks to Evie. Can we? Should we?
I'm not taking my chances here. And she casts a spell to create a rope, and she ties it onto the ship before pulling herself up and over onto the side of the ship.
Thal is actually going to dive into the water and get Elowen. Tell her that, hey, we're catching a ship.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the rope and get off of this floating piece of wood and climb right up onto that boat.
Evelyn extends her hand to help Bailey.
Thank you.
She takes it. Okay.
The
See,
broom on my
Evelyn
level.
pulls Bailey up, and she's like, "Apologies are later, but I am sorry."
Don't worry about it. If I would have known that was happening, we would have been there.
Lucan, Meryl, come on.
I'm going. My feeble ass arms.
Evelyn also extends her hand for you, Meryl,
Oh, thank you.
and then Lucan.
Um, is Thal and Eloin on the boat? Because I
They're
thought, okay.
underwater.
Oh, okay. Then I guess he'll climb up the rope.
Okay, she extends her hand to you too. Do you take it?
He'll take it kind of like feebly as he's like pulling himself.
Okay. You guys get on board, and then Thal, you dive into the water, transforming into a mermaid, and you kind of swim around, and you see like Eloin terrified of this giant creature, kind of just swimming in circles as a reef shark. You guys can both communicate since you have Elliot's. Yeah.
Mhm.
So go ahead.
Thals be like, see that hole over there? Swim to it and transform back and get on board.
My stuff's still on the dock. And she's like, okay, I'll meet you there. Go. I'll be fine.
Alright. Thal is
Elwyn heads towards the dock.
Okay.
Thal's heading towards the Kraken, and she's gonna hit it one more time.
Okay.
Thal, what are you doing? No!
She's gonna cast. Oh, let's do shield touch again. That seemed to work. One more time. She's just making sure that everybody else can get on the ship because she doesn't know they're safe yet. 13 points of damage.
Okay. All right. So that magic goes off towards the Kraken, and then you swim back.
She's heading towards.
Okay.
She's gonna make sure that Evelyn gets on the ship before she even gets out of the water.
Okay. So Ellen, you have climbed back onto the dock as the ship is starting to like sail, like it can't moor itself because of the waves and stuff, and you just start running. You grab your stuff in a swing, and then you run and jump off the ship. Roll a strength saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh.
Hold on, I have to go back to my sheet. +1, 8.
Can Thal see her struggling and help swim her over?
She hasn't jumped in the water.
Oh.
She's running on the dock to like run and
Mhm.
jump onto the ship.
I see.
But yes, Thal can see this happen. But Eloin, you jump on and you catch the rope, but your hand starts sliding down onto it.
Help! She
Um,
screams, and she tries to get like more grip of it, and she like continues to try, like instead of just sliding, she's gonna like try to continue to grip herself.
Okay.
Thal's going to cast shape water and push her up like a geyser.
Okay.
Oh,
Bailey will run over to the edge of the ship and start trying, like, she'll call over, like, Lucan. Can we pull the rope up? Can we help her?
Roll a strength saving throw with
Immediately.
advantage, Eloin.
19.
Okay.
19.
Okay, yep. So you're able, with the help of the geyser and Lucan and Bailey helping you up the rope, you kind of get over onto the ship, leaving Thal the last one.
Thal's going to grab any rope that's on the side of the ship, and as soon as she gets out of the water, transform back and just climb up the side of the ship.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So, you all get onto the ship as you see the captain of the ship up at the helm, and he yells out. He goes, "Oi! That cannon's down below."
Oh, shit.
Cannons?
okay.
Okay.
Fire at will, mate. Fire at will.
Who's Will?
Come on, Thal. And Elwyn has secured all of her things, and like she's using her staff again, and she has Sprig, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry," and she like puts her like in her hair, kind of like
Yeah.
so Sprig could like hold on, and she's like, "Come on," and she grabs Thal's hand and she whisks her under below.
Okay. So you see that there are 5 cannon holes for you to fire. Um, Everyone, you're gonna go ahead and roll a intelligence check for me.
A saving throw or just a check?
Just a check.
Got a 12.
15.
15.
19.
Okay. Anything over a 11, you're able to load your cannons up, and put the gunpowder in, into the thing, and then you see that there are matches, for each of you to light. Each of you roll AC with a +2 to hit.
What if you could not
Oh.
figure out how to load the cannon?
You assist with others. You're like, I can't figure this out.
I can't figure this out. Here, I can light it. And she, like, casts Druidcraft at the edge of the fuses.
Okay, to do that. Sure,
Oh
absolutely.
god.
Rolled a nat 1, so maybe that little spell kind of messed up Bailey's cannon.
I rolled a nat 1 too.
Oh shit.
Well, I got a 13.
I got a 19.
Okay, so Thals is the only one that hits. And it blasts into the side of the Kraken as this huge like tentacle comes and smashes down right by the edge of the boat, sending a tidal wave as over, and the boat like literally rides this tidal wave out of the harbor and bypassing all the Kraken. You're starting to see like the navy, like the naval base, like start to fire and attack on this Kraken from Haven City. There, and the Kraken starts to really more pay attention to the town, like Haven, rather than the boat that is fleeing the harbor. And eventually you set sail in open water.
Did we
About
just
the
leave a Kraken to
town?
attack the town?
What about the city?
I think we need to go speak to that captain.
Yeah, tell him to turn around.
Go tell him to turn around.
Okay.
Oh.
Elowen, like, she's like,
I'll
okay,
run up
and she
too.
like drops the cannonball, and she like runs back up. She's like, Captain, sir, we have to turn around.
Sorry, lass. We are headed out into open waters. I do not want to be here anymore.
We can't leave Haven to fend for itself.
Haven will leave you behind the minute it had a chance.
You don't know that.
Lass, I do. Now, set forth.
What?
The open ocean.
Okay.
Listen, love, we ain't staying there. Unless you have a death wish, you can hop ship and abandon ship. There's a plank you could walk, but I ain't staying here.
Okay.
Um,
And she like turns to look at the Kraken attacking the Navy boats in the distance. And it's like hurting her heart that they just abandoned a fight and like these people are at the mercy of this Kraken that they brought. At least that's what she thinks.
How far away is it from where we are?
it is hundreds of yards
Damn.
away now. Yeah.
Bailey,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say she's like watching through the window, like the portholes from down below. Just like they're not turning around.
Well, thank you for saving us. She walks up to the stairs where the captain is.
Absolutely, love. Glad to have you aboard the Black Pearl.
The Black Pearl?
Aye. Name's Captain Jack Sparrow. Pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well. My name is Elowen.
Ah, beautiful name. Beautiful name. Can't say I've ever met an Evelyn, and I've met many a woman. That reminds me of a time when... You're a little too young to hear that story.
Hey, I assume I am. I'm gonna go get my friends from down below.
As you were. As you were.
Elowen, she's like nods and she like turns and she runs back down. So I couldn't get him to stop. And Thal, you're never gonna believe it. We're on the Black Pearl.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Okay? So she looks around. No hard feelings. We're not gonna get into this now. We're just going to problem solve from here on out. No
And we'll
fighting.
do it together.
We will do it together. You are right, Lucan. So, the captain's name is Captain Jack Sparrow. He wanted to tell me about his escapades with the females, and I want other people upstairs with me.
Okay, maybe we should all go meet the captain before
So
he sullies our good Elowen's ears.
we're just gonna let the Kraken take out the city of Haven?
I couldn't talk him into going back. I tried. A lot of people tend to listen to me.
I don't think it's a matter of let so much as we're sort of hostages.
Not
We're not
necessarily.
hostages.
Yeah, I know we voluntarily got on, but we also have no control over where we go.
Wait. Where did he say we were going?
He didn't specify open ocean.
Open ocean.
Open ocean.
She starts getting sweaty.
It's okay. We're on a ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's go up and find your sea legs and talk to the captain. He seems very nice and doesn't mean to harm, but I just felt a little uncomfortable by myself.
Yeah, I feel a little uncomfortable with this too. Okay. Okay.
We'll take it slow, one step at a time, and if you don't like it up there, then you could come back down here.
Okay.
But
So you travel to the top of the ship deck, and you see Captain Jack Sparrow. He's got his feet up on the wheel, and you see him toying with some type of compass in his hand. And as he sees you all approach, mostly women, he like gets up and like straightens on his hat and flicks over his hair. He says, "Aye, these must be your mateys. Is Captain Jack Sparrow. Nice to meet you."
Hello.
Thal is still hiding behind Lucan at this point because he's a pirate.
Lily is staying as close to the center of the ship as she can get. Like, if there's like a hub, she's like up against the wall, and she's just like, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Do you have a bucket or anything that maybe our friend could use just in case?
Aye. Or you could just puke into the ocean.
I guarantee you she's not going to get any closer to the side of that ship than she is already.
Got it. I don't want to look at it.
Alright. Well, listen, there's a bucket down there.
Perfect. I'm Meryl, by the way.
The pleasure is mine, Meryl.
Okay, I'm gonna go find that bucket. And I'll run off downstairs real quick.
Bailey sinks down to sit against the wall of the ship cabin.
Oh boy.
Lucan kind of like steps forward and he goes to like shake his hand, and he's like a lot more confident than the other women in the group. He's like, I don't know what your problem is. Like, I'm fine. Like, hey, I'm Lucan.
He shakes your hand real nice and firm. He says, "Ah, stern man. It is nice to meet you, Lucan. Welcome aboard the Black Pearl."
Interesting to be here. Wasn't quite sure how we were gonna find it.
Well, I appreciate it that you're here. I saw that you were in need of rescuing, and I couldn't help but, have you aboard.
We
very
were,
grateful.
in fact, in need of rescuing.
Good. Well, listen, I've got places to be. I'm heading to Port Tortuga down south.
Huh, coincidence. It's where we were wanting to get to as well. And you know where that's at?
Absolutely, I've been there a time or two, I will say. It's quite a good place, if you ask me.
It's a
Well,
good place. Is everyone of nice manners? And I'm guessing crime is low if it's good.
Manners, crime. And he like looks at you and he like immediately drops his laughing face. He's like, "Oh, you've never been to Port Tortuga, then, have you?"
No. Well, before a few months ago, I have never left my forest.
Ah, a landlubber. That's all right. You'll get acquainted to the ocean in no time, dear.
about how long is this gonna take to get to Port Tortuga?
He like pulls out his compass and he goes, hmm, 3, maybe 4.
Hours,
For days?
days, months?
Uh, 3 or 4, give or take.
Thal's gonna see the compass and like kind of scurry over, and she's gonna like almost take it.
He like holds it in his hand and he like looks at you. Hello?
This.
What can I do for you, lass?
She's gonna look at Jack and then she's gonna look back at the others. This is what the Arcanum said. The magic compass. I think this is going to tell us
Yes.
where Davie Jones' locker is.
But Thal, that's not how people who were from the land. Not how. Maybe we should ask politely.
But he's a pirate.
So, just because he's a pirate doesn't mean we can't ask nicely.
Mr. Jack Sparrow.
It's Captain Jack Sparrow.
Captain
And
Jack Sparrow. Would we be able to see if your compass can point us in the direction of Davie Jones' locker?
he like looks at it in his hands. He like opens it up. And he closes again and he opens it back up. And he closes again. He says, "What compass?"
The one in your hands, Captain.
It's for me and for me only. My eyes. I am the captain here.
But
Yes.
he's as bad as the Cheshire Cat, she says as she like coughs into the bucket.
Man,
I come back up. Yeah.
You what?
I come back up with the bucket.
Oh, I thought
Was there
she had
anybody else on the ship?
Well, there was at one point, but I'm pretty sure they're all back at the Tortuga Tavern.
How are
Just-
you gonna sail this alone?
Well, I have you, right?
We don't know how to sail.
It's all right. I just need some warm bodies to help me out.
Huh?
It's not that hard to sail. I will tell you what to do and watch, observe, supervise, if you will.
Well, Mr. Captain. Sorry.
It's Captain Jack
Mr.
Sparrow,
Okay.
lass. Say Mr. one more time.
Mr.
Aye. What?
Your compass. Okay, well, forget the compass for a moment. Have you ever been
What
to
compass?
Davie Jones? Exactly. Davie Jones' locker.
You see like a grim look in his eyes and he goes, "Never heard of the place."
Can you get us information on said Davie Jones' locker?
Hmm. Supposedly. How much gold we talking?
Well, I have many riches where I'm from. Lots of pearls. And
Yes, but I don't see how that helps us on this ship.
where
But we're also helping you get to Tortuga.
And I also saved your lives.
That is true. Okay,
They
I didn't think
are-
about that.
probably many riches at Davie Jones' locker. We have riches there that need us to rescue them at the moment. But I'm sure Ursula has tons of gold down there.
Ursula.
Hmm?
Who's Ursula?
Ursula, yeah. Sea witch, Ursula.
Sea witch. No, I don't deal with that. Teodoma is enough.
Who?
Teodoma. Priestess.
Okay.
Sure.
Curse Calypso.
Well, listen. We shall be in port in 3 or 4, and there is some rum downstairs calling my name. So, if you do not mind, I'm gonna head down there.
Who's gonna drive the
What
ship?
do we?
The ship knows where it needs to go.
I don't think that's how ships work.
You've never been aboard the Black Pearl, now have you?
Is it a
I'm-
magical ship?
It is now. I met 2 strange folk. They wanted me to take them off the coast of Tortuga, and the blue one, he helped me. Sails anywhere I need to go. Same with this. Not compass.
Right.
Everything about this.
Listen, if you don't like my ship, you can, head in the water.
No,
It's fine. It's clean. It's nice.
the
Just try
ship
it.
is great. The ship is fine. It's
he,
not
like-
personal.
He pats the wood of the thing, and it breaks from it being mildewy and gross. He goes, I've been meaning to fix that.
Bailey heaves into the bucket.
Well, wait, did you say blue one?
Yeah, I did.
While they're walking, I'm gonna walk over and pick up the wood and stick it back and cast mending.
Okay.
The blue one, was their skin blue like me?
No, lass. Well, possibly. I was a little drunk.
You drove them drunk? Are you driving us drunk?
Maybe.
Don't let Bailey hear that.
Bailey, the one with the tail.
Yes. One of
She's
the
quite beautiful.
We are
Does she have a
rescuing her
boyfriend?
girlfriend. We're rescuing her girlfriend. That's the treasure that lies in Davie Jones' locker. And I'm sure if you want to woo her, you have to help save her girlfriend.
Listen, there's no more talk of this Davie Jones locker, okay? We ain't going there. Only death lies before Davie Jones' locker.
You said you didn't know what it was.
I say a lot of things.
All I'm gonna say is we're a group of people who tend to try to get to one place and end up in a whole nother place. So if we end up there, don't blame us. As I'm walking back over to Bailey to pat her on the back.
I will get you guys to Port Tortuga. And from there, we'll figure it out. But there's rum downstairs. And I am desperate for a drink.
Roger that.
We'll take your drink and maybe more information about Davie Jones' locker will happen to appear.
I said no more talk with Davie Jones' locker. Got it?
No. Landlubber.
All right. Landlubber. I seem to be the one that rescued you from land.
I was in the sea.
I was on land.
Exactly.
What is it gonna take to convince you to take us to where we need to be?
I feel like Tortuga is a good initial need to be place, and then maybe we can find a not drunk captain.
But the
Good luck
compass and the arcanum.
with that.
Thank you.
Would you take us to Davie Jones' locker if we needed you to? What would it take? What could I do to change your mind?
Oh, have you ever heard of a Vivian Dupree? Ooh,
Sorry. Can't say I have.
damn. Well,
Eliot's arcanum said that you had this compass that could help us get to Davie Jones' locker.
that
Eliot.
he specifically? Oh.
That was his name, the blue one. You know
Dressed
him?
in blue. Dressed in blue.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's at the bottom of Davie Jones' locker. We have to rescue him.
He owes me another ship.
What?
Great. He probably has it on his person down there. He just needs help.
I thought he died.
How does he owe you a ship? You have a perfectly good one here.
Well, as you can see, and he puts his hand against the wood again, and it breaks through.
I was like, oh,
The Black Pearl's a lovely ship, lass. But listen, I need another one.
Why?
I can tell.
Please don't tell me it's because the ship's falling apart.
No. No. This ship is fine. This ship is fine. But there's another. That's beautiful. And gorgeous. And lovely. Just as yourself. That I want.
Not for you, Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow. But we get to Tortuga. I figure out what's going on. And we'll talk about Davie Jones' locker. Just
Excellent.
hope you all have your wills written out and you can just give it all to me. I mean, no, you won't die. It's fine.
don't
Don't
own
worry.
anything.
I planned on dying no matter what, so. She rolls her
Speak
eyes.
for yourself.
Cheers to that. We do all die in the end.
It sounds like we're gonna have boat talks. As I'm eyeing Thal with the whole dying comment.
What?
Well-
What do you think?
She is at 1 hit
Maybe
point
we will-
and really bloodied.
You're one Mama, why'd you say nothing to me?
Because that's, you're not supposed to.
Okay, please help me. I don't have a lot to give you, but I have some stuff to give
I
you.
have something myself, don't worry.
God, does this ship ever stop rocking back and forth?
Only until the ocean herself calms down. Don't worry. You're with me. Board the greatest ship that ever sailed.
It looks like she's about to cry.
At least I've heard of it.
Thal, you heal 12 hit points.
Thank you.
Anyways,
This boat is magic. Maybe since I swear you aren't lying to us, Captain Jack Sparrow.
I swear, as the ocean is blue.
More of a greenish color,
Samantha.
but I understand. Okay. Well, thank you. We have some things to talk out ourselves. Is there a
Yeah.
place where we can go?
You can stay aboard up here. I'm going downstairs to get my drink up.
At that, what Evelyn said, that was like slowly backing up. Away from the party.
Well,
oh
I
no,
just
you
walked-
don't.
Oh,
Look.
Lucan
my
is gonna
Thal and-
walk. Oh, Lucan is gonna walk over and he's gonna grab Bailey's bucket. He's like, I'll be right back. And he's gonna go dump it off the side of the boat. He's gonna come back and set it back down. He's gonna kind of go to like pat her. And then he'll stop and he'll just like.
She just has like a hand on each of her horns, and she's just like leaning against the side of the wall, like trying to tune out everything about this situation.
as Captain Jack descends down to the main of the hull of the ship, he starts singing. He goes, yo ho, a pirate's life for me. We pillage, we plunder, we rifle, we loot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. We kidnap and ravage and don't give a hoop. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho, yo ho. And he disappears below them.
I'm walking around. I put that piece of wood back and I mend it. And I look for other little cracks and I mend those. Just make circles. Doing little mendings.
Evelyn is like pacing across the ship, and she's like, well, that went well.
Did it? I mean, I guess it did. We're alive and we're on the ship we're supposed to be on. Mend.
Meryl, you're the only one with any sense. Her
Ah,
her tail is just like angrily thrashing back and forth.
did you have a question, mend?
No, just
Oh,
this ship is falling apart.
it
We're in the
kinda
middle of the
is.
sea.
We are.
Hmm.
Thal, do you know where we are?
The ocean. And she's just leaning over and looking at the sea or the ocean.
Elowen walks up to Bailey, and she's just like, "It'll be okay. You need something to focus on. Get your mind off of everything else that's going around. Here's Sprig. He's my lovely little buddy, and he could use some pets." And he like squeaks at Bailey and like tilts his head up. Here, you could use some pets. He won't hurt you.
At first, she's kind of like hesitant. Like she's kind of like, okay, like this is what comforts you, not me. She kind of like pats it. But then after a minute, she'll like take Sprig and like hold him to her chest, and like just hold it, clearly needing something.
Um, the afternoon starts to head into evening time. It's not dark, but it's still kind of got some pink clouds and things as the sun starts to set. It's been some time now that you've been aboard the ship, and in the distance you see land that's starting to approach, and you see a port town just off the coast. Um, and as you're kind of like coming into land, it almost as if the like ocean is getting closer to you, um as if the ship is starting to decline into the ocean as you arrive towards harbor.
Um, I'm not gonna say anything to Bailey.
She's not looking. She is holding Sprig and keeping her eyes shut.
uh Captain Jack, he gets from the bows of the ship and he tosses a rum bottle and says, "Not to alarm anyone, but listen here, mateys. We are sinking.
Go
Um,
figure.
What?
we
I only
started.
meant at the top
Drops
of the ship.
Sprig.
A cannonball had dropped down through the bottom of the hull, and water started to leak through, and we might want to get up to the crow's nest as we approach shore."
Lily starts climbing with all of her rogue ability to the top of the ship as quickly as she possibly can, using her tail and just like straight up doesn't ask questions. She's gone.
You all start to scramble up to the top of the ship as the ship just sinks deeper and deeper into the ocean, as you get closer and closer to shore, as the wind whips around you, and Captain Jack, he climbs up and holds onto the top of the ship as all of you just kind of decline into harbor before eventually the water come crashes over the sides of the ship. You pass by this cavernous rock thing into the ocean, and you see these hanging dead corpses, where a sign says, "Pirates, ye be warned." And Captain Jack, he like does a little salute to the dead pirates. I Bailey's bucket has fallen over the side, and it starts going off to shore as you all are just coming into port as the ship just slowly lingers into the water, and people are like passing you by, staring at you like, "What the hell?"
Say a
Before
prayer for the corpses.
Bailey has like her arms and her legs around the mast of the ship.
And then you all hop off onto the dock as the boat sinks into the harbor, no longer traced. As Captain Jack, he steps onto the dock and says, "See ya! It was nice meeting you all.
Where are we?
Welcome to Port Tortuga."
I don't think we're
Bailey's
captain
already
anymore.
gone.
Alright, well, Captain Jack Sparrow, we will need to speak with you about that compass again because we do need your help getting Eliot. And
Right,
don't you want your ship?
fine. Right,
Obviously, you need
absolutely.
one.
You're not wrong. I'll meet you in the tavern tonight after I've talked to everyone I need to.
Okay.
Aye?
Aye.
Perfect. Again, welcome to Port Tortuga.
Pirates.
Mermaids. And he turns and walks away.
Well, we're back on land. Hope you're happy.
Bailey's like laying by the trees, like 100 yards.
Thal's gonna look at Evelyn, and then just like kind of brush past her, arms crossed.
Good.
So, to the remaining people, we made it to one of our goals without getting whisked off somewhere else, so that's a really good sign. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Now we just
Might
have to
have
go.
been the.
Yeah, now we just have to go to Davie Jones' locker, which Sparrow seems very, very concerned about. And he mentioned death. And I mean, a lot of places we have gone aren't safe, but this one seems particularly dangerous.
This is death. It happens, you know? We gotta go, so.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it's our time yet.
No, I wouldn't say that. And I'm here, so I'll make sure it's not your time yet. But
Well, thank you.
I think our biggest issue is. Well, and I'll get real quiet. Bailey, even getting her down there, she's like a cat. And Thal, making sure she doesn't, like, I don't know, do some mermaid stuff and go crazy. So we gotta, you know.
Alright, let's go.
Okay.
So you guys head off the docks towards Port Tortuga. It's glorious looking town, and that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
Wow.
I just have to say that the Pirates of the Caribbean is one of my faves. Like, I absolutely adore it. The one time that I went to Disney as a child, I got the Mickey Mouse ears with the
Pirate hat.
Captain Jack Sparrow, like, yeah, pirate hat, and I don't know, like, this is like I just want to watch Pirates of the Caribbean so bad, which I've already wanted to because I really like Johnny Depp, and right now the whole Amber
Yeah.
Heard Johnny Depp thing. But anyway, that's my piece. Is I'm like, this is the music. I'm like I'm fangirling on the inside.
Good. I'm glad. And having that iconic scene at the beginning of the movie, you know, like, and you guys are a part of it, like, yeah. So good. I'm glad. I could tell, like, when your face. I was just watching your face, and you're just like, so good. I'll try to brush up on my Captain Jack voice. I'm not very good, but I'm trying.
Energy was there though. Like the energy was there. It was
Mhm.
when he was like opening and closing the compass, and just when Bailey was like, "He's as bad as the Cheshire Cat." Like, 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Guys,
Yeah.
I am actually going to pop off. I've got
Okay.
another session that's going on my other Discord, and I really want to pop in and listen because I just retired
Okay.
a character with that group.
Okay.
So I want to hear how sad they are that I'm dead.
Oh,
Oh.
rest in peace.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see
Have
you
a
later.
lovely night, everyone. Love you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Jeffrey.
Bye.
But good. I love Pirates of the Caribbean too, so it's been fun to get that introduced for sure. So, yeah, I'm glad you're liking it, and I'm doing it justice. So,
Yeah.
I'm excited
sure.
about it. It's really fun to play a character that is super not into this part of the story.
for sure.
Never the fuck again. Bailey thinks.
What
Bailey hopes.
I'm really excited about is that when we go to Disney, like we're gonna go to these places, you know what I mean? Like so you'll be able to see, these places come to life, when
Dude,
we're at
seeing
Magic Kingdom.
Tara's family mansion is gonna be so special. Like
Right?
if we can only go for one day, I want to do Magic Kingdom for sure.
Oh yeah,
Hands down.
I got you.
I'm so excited.
Me,
I'm really sorry I didn't level up. I honestly, like, I completely forgot until we started, and like 10 minutes in, I was like, oh shit, we did that.
I was gonna call you and ask if you wanted to level up together, but I knew you had a lot going on this week, and like I said, it was kind of a tough week for me too. I was actually really sick a couple days, and like I just had a
mm,
tough week. So, but I did level up, and I should have texted you, but I didn't.
A reminder would have been nice, but that's okay. I don't blame you. It's fine.
Sorry, buddy.
well, hey, now you know. Now you'll be able to level up. But yeah, I'll send you some those are some pictures of Tortuga Tower and at Magic Kingdom
It's making me
and the
hungry.
Oh,
event. I know, right? Pico spills,
Mm,
all the
ugh,
good
so good
stuff.
food there.
Grub and grog if it's open.
Last time I was there, it was. I think a lot of things were reopened last time.
I just know that like
It's
Tortuga Tavern closes
yeah.
like if it just depending. I think because we'll be there on a Saturday, that it will be open. That's what I'm hoping for.
Be fun.
So
Magic Kingdom is on Saturday.
yes. So Friday is Hollywood Studios, Saturday is Magic Kingdom, and Sunday is Epcot.
I can go definitely for one day, and then depending on like if you're able to get us comp tickets, like if I could go 2 days, but also it depends on when I can get a job. So
Yeah.
I took the written part of my driving test and I scheduled the driving